Intimacy. Intimacy. True intimacy begins with courage to let yourself be seen for who you truly are, your authentic self. Not just the surface, but the depth of your spirit. Your vulnerabilities, your strengths, your imperfections, all of it. When we allow others, but most importantly ourselves, to witness this depth, we create connections that move beyond the physical. Real intimacy involves vulnerability, reciprocity, and a willingness to share your thoughts, dreams, fears, and desires. It's built on trust and emotional closeness, first with yourself, then with others, so that you feel safe to be open and genuine. This brave act of intimacy leads to deeper bonds and more fulfilling relationships. Let intimacy with yourself become a sacred space where you show up as your true self, inspiring others to do the same. It is within this mutual openness that real love and understanding take root and flourish. Poem by the Cosmic Doula. Welcome to the Intuitive Wellness Experiment, a sacred space for self-rebellion, intuitive remembrance, and embodied wisdom. This is a podcast for reclaiming your rhythm, trusting your intuition, and living in alignment while embodying cosmic self-sovereignty. I'm your host, Christine, aka the Cosmic Doula, guiding you through soulful conversations with changemakers and solo reflections rooted in intuitive wellness. In this season, we're gathering tools for the revolution, tools anchored in self-sovereignty, spiritual empowerment, and collective liberation. Whether you're tuning in during a personal season of creative fire or a sacred pause, may this space support you in coming home to your own rhythm, your radiance, and the power of your gifts. Take a breath, feel your body, and tune in. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. So happy to have y'all here. Today we have a very special, intimate episode, solo episode today, where we are going to be talking all about intimacy. Intimacy, and I like to say intimacy is into me, you see. So we're going to get really intimate today. So grab your tea, grab your water, grab your wine, grab your herbs, whatever feels yummy, sexy, sensual in your body, because we are going there. The day of me filming this, and the time of me filming this, and my favorite numbers on the clock, 8:44. But the day of me filming this, I'm actually recording this. I'm behind the scenes today. We are in a line 6 day. The sun is transiting through gate 59, which is known as the gate of intimacy, sexuality, and it's in the line 6. So gate 59, line 6, this is the last energy before the sun shifts into a new gate. But because this gate is so personal to me, I felt like it was a perfect opportunity to get intimate with this podcast here and dive a little bit deeper. If you listen to our last episode with Cashapp, Leo Rising, and leadership, we talked a lot about this gate and intimacy as we, both of our energies created the channel of mating, the 59-6. So we tapped a little bit about that. So invitation to go back and listen to that episode where we talk about if this energy connects with another energy and what you could potentially create and birth with each other. But line 6 days are all about looking back, and it's a day of reflection and a day of authenticity and leading by example. This is the role model gate. This is the wisdom gate. So on line 6 days, we are invited to kind of detach and look back and reflect on the wisdom that we've learned when the sun was transiting through the last 5 days, the gate beginning from line 1 all the way to where we're landing now on line 6. It's a very yang energy, so masculine energy, line 6 days. And this is us being on the top of the roof, right? Kind of looking back and looking at our journey and observing in order to act. So this is like the becoming, right? You're on the roof. And also today we are on a Scorpio moon day. So we're going to dive deep. We're going to do some investigating that is intuitively led. I have very little notes here with me and I'm letting spirit take the lead here. And in regards to spirit taking the lead on the day of me recording this, Uranus in Gemini is sextiling with Neptune in Aries. So this is a beautiful spark of harmony. But with sextile, we're asked to take action. So the planet of Uranus in Gemini, when we're thinking of that revolutionary conversations in mind, is wanting to come into this beautiful spark of harmony with Neptune in Aries, the planet of inspiration and faith. So this is a breakthrough energy that's wanting us to break through, to bring in more creativity, spirituality, and compassion. This is awakening our vision, not only for ourselves, but I feel like for the future, very Uranian, right? So we're starting to see the visions for our new life manifest. And I just think it's a beautiful day to this. So now that we tapped a little bit into the cosmic weather, let's talk about Gate 59. So Gate 59 is known as the gate. The official name of this gate is the Gate of Sexuality, also known as the Gate of Intimacy. And the core theme of this gate is sexual energy in order to bond. So some key words here are romance, breaking barriers, fertility. And when we are in Gate 59, we're dealing with the zodiacal energies of Virgo. This is Virgo's gate. This is Virgo's very beginning gate. So we're talking about 0 degrees Virgo to about 5 degrees Virgo. And this particular gate is located in the sacral center, and it's reaching out in the sacral center to create to the solar plexus center, our emotional center, to connect with gate 6. So in Gene Keys, the shadow of this gate is dishonesty. The gift of this gate is intimacy, and the city of this gate is transparency. And this is happening in the quarter of duality, so purpose fulfilled through relating. And in circuitry, this is the tribal defense circuit. So now that we've talked about all of the nitty gritty or the overview of this gate, let's get a little bit more in depth, get a little bit more intimate with this gate. So the vibes of this gate is a very yin energy. It's a generated gate, so the gate of mating or intimacy is a generated channel. So it's inviting and it's attracting things in order to respond to. So this is sacral. This is the sacral power breaking through barriers in order to communicate and connect with people that are right for you. So responding and communicating and breaking barriers with people that come within your aura in order to break bonds and communicate and get intimate with those. This is very sexual energy, sexuality, in order to bond with others, to build partnerships and to create life. Because what do you do when you have sex? You create life. This gate wants to keep humanity going. So creating life, having sex, having pleasurable experiences, but not only in the physical form, but Shashetta and I talked a lot about this, like the intimacy and creating projects, birthing new things into the world. This is like an energetic hug with all of our senses. This is a very fertile energy. This is an aura busting energy. And when the sun is transiting through this gate, we may be experiencing a high sexual drive, passion, like a fire lit under us, to create, to birth things, to be intimate with different things. You may notice that, there's sexual tension in the air. It's really important for us during this time to follow our strategy and authority, to make sure that we are bonding with those that are in alignment for us. And also, to note during this gate, because it's such sexual energy, beware if you are opening your hips or opening your sacral to different forms, and you're not trying to be pregnant, beware. Take those precautions needed, because this is a very fertile time. So if you don't want pregnancy to happen, take those precautions. So the harmonic gate. So when the sun is in gate 59, the earth is in gate 55. So this is grounding us in the recognition of abundant spirit. This is the spirit, basically. The gate 55 is the gate of spirit, romance and longing, in order to create that abundance and happiness. During this time, we find ourselves being open to other people and other networks and services, in order to create those bonds. And it's a beautiful God. It's a beautiful gate. It's a beautiful gate, both 55 and 59. But when we're talking about the gift of 59, excuse me. So if you have 59 in your chart, and I invite you to look up your human design chart, I'll make sure I put some links in the description on where to do that. And I also have a video on how to look up your chart and, work through in my favorite places to look up your chart. So I'll make sure that I put that there, and I kind of do an overview of how to read your chart briefly. But if you look in your chart and you pull your body graph and you see that you have gate 59 activated, you have the gift to break barriers of all kind. You have the fertility for projects. People with gate 59 are able to communicate with others easily, to establish trust and intimacy. They have this energy of fertility, energy to reproduce, creations, children, projects. People with gate 59 can tend to be seducers because of this sexual energy. So if you're vibing high with this energy, you're a pure life force. You're breaking through the auras in order to create fertile, intense bond, to build strong relationships over time. If you're vibing low with this energy, you can jump into relationships without waiting, not following your strategy and authority. You isolate, or you're too intrusive with your energy. You're prone to superficial relationships, and you could tend to be dishonest with others. In the G keys, the shadow of this energy is dishonesty, but the gift of it is intimacy, blending with honesty and kindness, listening to others deeply with your heart. Into me you see, right? We can't have intimacy if you can't see within to me, if you don't know deeply my heart. Do something from within. You can't see me from within. So this is a very intimate gate, or a busting gate. This gate is part of one of the 7 creative gates in human design. The other creative channels in human design are 2551, 4426, 1648, 1034, 18, and 35-6. There's a quote here that I want to share. That I really feel speaks to intimacy, and intimacy you see. And it's being who you are, allow others to be who they are. And in doing so, you can break barriers and bring genuine connections of acceptance. Ooh. So when things or environments, people come into your aura in order to respond to it, that generator energy, and, listening to your sacral, paying attention to your gut in order to who and what feels responsible in order to respond to who is attractive to you to build those bonds with. And when we're talking about Gate 59, it talks a lot about it speaks to bonding strategies. We can look to Gate 59 to see our bonding strategies. And these bonding strategies are based on your profiles, your human design profile. So for me, for example, I'm a 3/6 in human design. So my bonding strategy would correlate with the line 3, which is also all 59 line 3, which is all about openness. My husband is 1/3, so his bonding strategy would be correlate with the 59-1 line, which is all about the preemptive strike. So let's go through the bonding strategies. And again, I invite you to look at your My Body graph, pull that up. We're doing a little bit of experimenting here, right? So pull it up and let's experiment with your own personal bonding strategies. So in order to know the bonding strategies, we're going to go through the themes of when the gates, each line gate of 59. So we're going to start off with that investigator line 1. Then we're going to move into 2, 3, until we get to where we are today in line 6. So when we're talking about 59 line 1, we're talking about that investigator energy, right? So this is called the preemptive strike. So this is all about building a foundation first. So if you are a profile line 1-3 or profile line 1-4, you have this bonding strategy of needing to build a foundation first, needing to feel a strong bond and have all the information that you need in order to strike. And I just laugh because literally my husband, he has this gate, and unbeknownst to me, he knew a lot about me before he even asked me out. Well, I asked him out first, but he knew all this information about me. He knew that I was going to be his wife before I even said one word to him. He asked people, because we work together. So he asked people at work about me. He observed me. He did his own investigation before actually, reaching out to me and creating that bond. So I'm just laughing because he surely did gather all the information before he striked. So this is all about getting the information on the person that you're interested with or that you want to have a bond or connection with before you actually take that strike. Because you need to feel secure. This one line gathers information and gathers all the foundation in order to what? To feel secure. So that's profile line 1-3 and profile line 1-4. When we're talking, if you have profile line 2-4 or profile line 2-5, we're talking about shyness. So we're talking about that energy of the 2-line profile, the call, right? You need to hear that call. So you are available and you want to bond, but you're waiting for the right people to come to you. Your energy naturally draws people into you in order to create those bonds. That's why it's called shyness, because it's like, you can come to me, I'm kind of shy. So wanting those other people to come to you and knowing when the time is ready for you to be called out to come out of that hermit cave, right? So you might, if you carry this energy or this bonding strategy, you might wonder if it's ever possible for you to have a partner. But again, it's kind of waiting for that call and waiting for the right people to come into your aura to create that bond for you. And so that's 2-4 and 2-5 line. And when we're talking about the bonding strategy for profile lines 3-5 and or 3-6, which is me, we're talking all about openness. So this 3, we're talking about experimenting, right? 3 is the martyr, experimenting, trial and error. So this is all about understanding what works and what doesn't work in a relationship, experimenting with what feels good with each person that you are creating a bond with. And this is actually Uranus energy. This energy matures after your Uranus opposition, which I am in my human design cycle of my Uranus opposition right now. So that's super interesting. And I feel this maturing over time. This is being open to bond and experiment with all type of people because you understand what every single connection may mean. So you want to connect with, you're open to connecting with so many people because you know what value connections have. And if you have this energy, you could be really comfortable with having long distance relationships or needing time away from your partner to experiment with different things, not necessarily saying that you need to experiment with different people. Hey, but you could, have an open relationship. Hey, this is the profile, the bonding strategy of openness. So you could, and that's definitely an alignment for you, but it could be just taking a retreat away from your partner and experimenting different environments. And when you come back, it's like you're even stronger bond. So this is the bonding strategy for 3-5 profiles and 3-6 profiles. When we're talking about the bonding strategies of 4-6 and 4-1, we're talking about the 59 4 profile line of brotherhood, sisterhood. And this is all about 4 is connecting with others, the connection, your community of friends. So this is, you might find your bonding strategy with your friends and the people in your networks. You really need to be friends with the person first before actually wanting to go into any type of romantic relationship. Like that foundation of friendship is crucial to these 4-6, 4-1s. You find opportunities within your group. So you might find your partner through your networks, through your groups. This is also fixed. You might be very fixed with your sexual relationships, and it can be scheduled. Like you might want to schedule your sexual encounters, your intimacy. You might have them in a routine that comes with this energy as well. But the right social circle is essential to this brotherhood, sisterhood, 4-6, 4 line bonding strategy. When we're moving on to 59 line 5, this is the femme fatale, the Casanova. So this is the bonding strategy for profile lines 5-1 and profile line 5-2. And so this speaks to the Casanova, the femme fatale. This is the romantic comedy of it all. So this is love can break all barriers. Love wins all, the romantic comedy. And interestingly enough, a lot of actors have profile line 5-1s and 5-2s, especially those that are in the rom-com industry or the rom-com field or movie. I don't know what you call those movie segments. Because they have and they can project this energy for people or around them feel like the audience knows that they're falling in love. They can project this energy with the audience, even if they don't even know that they have them. That Casanova, femme fatale. I'm thinking of Fabio, darling. Wonder if Fabio was a 5-2 or something. But people want to connect with you. So know if you carry this energy, people are looking to you, wanting to get romantic with you. People people want to connect with you. But no, this is your choice, right? It's your choice of who you want to connect with. There'll be a lot of people coming into your aura, feeling that rom-com, femme fatale, Casanova energy, but it's your choice who you want to be intimate with. And so keep that in mind. 5 profile lines, 5-1 and 5-2. Now we get to one of my favorite profile lines, and it's 59 line 6. And your girl has this profile line. 59 line 6 is actually my personality moon. So I resonate a lot with this energy. So I'll talk a little bit about my own chart and how 59 shows up later. But when we're talking about bonding strategies for 6-2 profile lines or 6-3 profile lines, this is the energy 59 line 6 of a one night stand. So the love that you express with others, when we're talking about 6 line energy, you're going through these 3 phases, 0 to 30, experimenting with intimacy and bonding, which I sure did, child. Then we get into 30 to 50, discovering what part of life means to you. So what does that intimacy and that bonding that you did from 0 to 30, what does that mean to you while you're traveling through the 30 to 50 stage until you hit your Chiron return at 50 plus? And this is the role model energy where you're living your most authentic version of yourself. Okay, so once you are intimate with others, this type of bonds leads to a soulmate. So this is like experimenting with all the one night stands until you actually, because your soul needs to experiment in order to be like, okay, this is my soulmate. This is, who I feel. And I laugh because this was me. I was wild. Okay. Your girl had a lot of one night stands in order to find my soulmate that I have now. Okay. So I really, truly feel this energy. You're in a search for your true partner. But the key to this energy, which, I'm in my 30 to 50 phase right now. So I'm discovering what this means to me right now. And it's so true that the big part of this theme with the 59-6 is that once you accept to know who you are, once you begin to love yourself first, you've become more attractive to others. Intimacy begins with you. When you first have that intimacy with yourself, it leads to that soul mate union. And I feel this energy. And this energy is actually linked to the global strategy. 59 shows up in the new incarnation cross of the Sleeping Phoenix, which is our new collective global strategy that we will be entering in 2027. So this is fertility, right? So this is fertility. So with the gate 59 moving into this showing up in this incarnation cross of the Sleeping Phoenix as we travel and move into this new global shift, we're starting to see a lot of fertility issues coming up into the collective. We're seeing a lot of people find their soulmates or find their ultimate partners later on in life. You're seeing, intimate bonds coming a little bit less rare and more platonic relationships, which are leading to less children being born in order to pursue personal freedom. If you look at the earth in this new global shift, in this incarnation cross, it's 55-6, which speaks on selfishness. So taking care of your needs first before you do others. And we're seeing this in the new global shift with a lot of people taking care of their work, their careers, like what they need and what they desire before actually having kids. So we're going to see a lot, but there is a ticking, we have this biological clock, right? So we're going to start to see a lot more platonic relationships happening in order to raise families where there not necessarily be a romantic connection to have a kid or to create life, but it could be, platonic. I know my boss and I used to joke about this all the time. Like, imagine if we could just all raise our children in a community full of women, what would that be? We might start to see that more, So that's a little bit of the energies of 59-6, 59-6, that one night stand energy, right? But when talking about my own personal experiment with intimacy in this 59 gate, this is part of my incarnation cross. I have 59 line 6 as my design earth gate. which is all about, so your Earth Gate in human design is how you ground and balance and how you've shared what you learned. And that's why I feel like I need to share this with you all. It's your design Earth Gate is the quality that helps bring balance into your life from what you experience through the sun. If you're looking in the business form of things, it's what your clients may need from you, what they might be looking to achieve. This energy grounds and brings stability. It's what you're grounded in. So what am I grounded in? I'm grounded in intimacy. I'm grounded in sexuality. And in line 6, I'm grounded in those one night stands. So I definitely feel this energy because definitely as a Gemini, you hear a lot about Geminis being flaky or they're on to the next one. They get bored very easily. So this definitely is showing up within my energy or within me. Like I create friendships, I create bonds with people that are very intimate, but just as quickly, I'm ready to bounce, move on to the next one. With love. So I definitely see how, and that grounds me, right? That really fills me up. Like I really need to feel intimate with somebody. It doesn't need to last long. I really do feel that people are in your lives for a season. But once we are in that season, we're getting deep. Okay. We're getting intimate. We're getting sexual. But, so because that really grounds me. When I look to the personality side, I look to my personality moon. This gate 59 line 4 is my personality moon. So this is what drives you, right? Your moon in human design is what drowns you. It's where you are more having a lot of empathy and emotions. It's where your ideal clients may need you to be held in vulnerability. Or they need to be held in their vulnerability, right? So this is what drive and motivates you, your moon gate in human design, your characteristics, what others sees in you, their inner self, what motivates and drives you. So for me, what motivates and drives me is optimistic intimacy. It's in intimacy with the collective, intimacy with others in that line 4, right? Creating those special bonds with my community and investigating how I can act on those bonds. And so that's how it shows up in my human design chart. So through those brotherhood, through those sisterhood connections, becoming friends first in order to dive deeper and get intimate with my clients or those in my community. And now, so I have a lot of Virgo energy in my chart, so it doesn't surprise me that this shows up a lot in my design. And guess what else this shows up in my design? This is my personality Lilith Gate. So your Lilith Gate in human design is something that I've been experimenting with, and I love to look at in people's charts because it shows that aspect, the shadow aspect of your true self. This is the untamed power. This is authentic expression with Lilith, right? Lilith wants to come out. This is where you feel like your rawness could be exposed. This is where you could hide your light. This is where you could go beyond what is called for. This is where you're seen by others as weird and it's uncomfortable, but this is also liberation. This is also seduction, power. This is also feminine war aspect of your chart where it's ready to regain their power, ready to reveal old parts of your psyche in order to liberate yourself. And Lilith is definitely sexual motherfucking energy, okay? So Lilith being in like one of the most sexual gates, baby, as a Lilithista, this is everything to me. This is everything. So shout out to Lilith for showing up in this. And this is the line 1 energy. So no wonder I'm investigating Lilith's story, and I dive deep into the depths of Lilith's story because I really want to truly understand that, because this is truly a foundation of my incarnation cross. This is a foundation. This is what drives me. And so that's how it shows up in my life. And so before I leave you, I I'm going to be doing a Substack post all about this intimacy gate, so I invite you to check it out. But this is something that I recently posted on my Substack that I want to leave you all with. When we allow others, most importantly ourselves, to witness the fullness of our authentic selves, we open the door to connections that move beyond the physical. Real intimacy is found in the courage to be vulnerable, the reciprocity of our sacred presence, and the willingness to reveal our thoughts, dreams, fears, and desires. I embody intimacy as a revolutionary act, dissolving all the walls through authentic connection. In safe spaces, I allow my personal power to be seen, shared, and felt. For me, intimacy is not just personal, it's political, it's spiritual, and it's transformative. It is a way of leading that nurtures trust, inspires courage, and awakens collective liberation, baby, okay? That's how I feel about intimacy. Intimacy is into me you see, the courage to let yourself and let your true spirit be witnessed. When you allow yourself to be seen, we create connections that go beyond the physical. True intimacy begins with self. Vulnerability, trust, and bravery to show up as you are. Let intimacy with yourself be a brave space that inspires others to do the same. And in mutual openness, real love and understanding take root and flourish. So I will leave y'all with that. Experiment with 59 in your chart. Look to see where 59 is activated in your chart. If you need help with that, reach out to your cosmic doula. I do offer human design readings, and I can weave this into your reading if you are interested. If you want a Lilith reading, human design, or astrology, reach out to me. I'd be happy to activate that power within your chart as well. Invitations to check out the Cosmic Portal, the Why Human Design workbook that's in there. I have so many offerings. All of my information will be linked below. And don't forget to be intimate with yourself in order to create those intimate bonds with others. Because when you see within yourself first and you allow others to do the same, imagine all the beautiful things we can create in this world together. So that we can all rise up like the phoenix. All right, I'll check y'all out next time. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Intuitive Wellness Experiment. May you continue to trust your rhythms, honor your intuition, and gather tools that liberate you. If you're feeling this journey, share it with someone you love or subscribe on Substack to stay connected. That's it for this episode. Keep listening to your body, keep trusting your path, and remember, your intuition is the revolution. Your wellness is sacred. Merci beaucoup and merci en pile. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time.